Hey guys, and welcome back to another book review on the channel. Today's video I'll be reviewing a really old book that I found on a holiday pretty much when I was going away with my friends. So this is a really old mathematical analysis book. So this book, I don't even know how old it is, but this is secondhand. So I bought it from like some random bookstore that I found. It was only $17, but I don't know how much it would have been when it was first released. So it's Cambridge math book, and you can see like the cover of it, like the protection thing is just so like run down and old. So anyway, yeah. So it was written by J.C.BURKILL. I have no idea how to pronounce those names. I'm so sorry, but I think it's got a pretty cool cover overall. Like it's got the sigma, it's got one square root, a little theta sign. It's got some good stuff. Yeah, and it's just so run down. But yeah, so we'll just read the back of it. This straightforward course is based on the idea of a limit and is intended for students of mathematics and physics acquired in working knowledge of calculus and are ready for more systematic treatment. So this book I think was designed for those who had a pretty good understanding of what like the idea of calculus, so like limits and stuff. Because this idea is pretty hard. Like the ideas in here are pretty hard. Not really, I wouldn't say they're beginner level. Like some of the stuff in here is quite tough, especially some of the proofs. It deals with metric spaces already, like, and it goes over the ideas of sets and functions in the first couple of pages, and it's so old and it's just sick. And some of the exercises are pretty good too. Like they've got the answers to, I think, the odd numbered problems. I'll have to double check. So, but it's more of a proof-based book, so a lot of the answers aren't really in this book because they are proofs. So if you don't know, if you have a book on proofs, you're kind of like, it's really hard to like write just a book full of proofs as your answers, because an answer is really like if you have an arithmetic equation, but if you're trying to prove something, they don't really provide an answer to it. But they do have solutions. Like, well, for question 2, it literally just says use theorem 1.1. So again, like prove that. It doesn't really have an answer to this. It just says use the theorem that was previously mentioned. So 1.11. So this one here. So yeah, it's a pretty good book so far. I've been going through it. It's definitely for those who are very advanced with their mathematics. Like obviously I can't do everything in this book here, like the gamma function here I can't do yet, but some of the stuff here is actually really cool, especially the stuff on Cauchy's theorem, which I used in several of my videos in integrals. So when I did like sine x over x, or what was it, cos x divided by x squared plus 1 from 0 to infinity, or etc. It goes over some pretty cool stuff in here. Yeah, a lot of it's proof based. They do a couple of stuff on series and series overall. Like they got some pretty hard stuff here. But let's go over to the overall, what's actually in this book overall. Yeah, you can just see how old it is. It's a very beautiful book. But let's see what it looks like without the cover actually. And you can see it's got some series and stuff in here. But this is what it looks like without the cover. So I'm going to move the cover to the side. And let's just see. Yeah, it's got a nice cover. It's very beautiful, honestly. Good book. Alright, let's see what it actually covers. Secondary course of mathematical analysis, Cambridge University. So it goes over sets and functions in the first little chapter. Then it goes over metric spaces, continuous functions on metric spaces. Limits in the space are not subscript 1 and z. Uniform conversion, so that's like your series and sequences, etc. Integration. Now, integration here, a lot of the integration here is proof-based, so it's not like your standard like integral problems. Like you'll deal with line integrals, Green's theorem, Stokes' theorem, and a lot of stuff like that. Functions from this is like, it's like changing frames of reference here. That's what that's talking about. Fourier series, complex function theory. This section of the book is really good if you kind of understand complex function theory and you are still like, I would say a beginner, but you're kind of learning it. This is really good. Like some of the explanations here are pretty good. And then it's just got goes over singularities, which I think is really cool, and the residues, which is fantastic. General theorems of analytical functions. So at the back, it's just got like some general theorems. So before it showed you the gamma functions. That's the solutions. But at the very back, yeah, like it goes over a lot of. That's exercise. It goes over just some basic theorems for math, like in the last chapter. So after it does the singularities and residues, it goes over. Yeah, there's some questions. Still talking about singularities, local mapping, applications to special functions. So this is where it just goes into a bit of the algebra side of it. Oh, this is the integral. I did a previous video, except A was 1, I think, in this case. Look, even's got the previous integral I did. So if you want to go check out this integral, it's on the channel somewhere. What else does it have? Does it have other ones that I've done? Nope. I'm going to do that one in a new video coming up. What else? It's got some really good diagrams, honestly. It's a cool book. I wouldn't say it's a great book to learn from, but it's a cool book to have as a reference, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like it. It was really cool because I'll be making a book review on another book. So the previous owner of this was James Douglas, and then now it's me, Levi Logan. But the previous owner he owned. So I bought 2 books while I was on holiday. This was one of them. The other one was on tensor analysis, and actually I have almost 100-year-old physics book, who was actually owned by the same person. So whoever James Douglas is, I've got 3 of your books. But anyway, this was just a honest book review on secondary course of mathematical analysis. Overall, it's a pretty good book. I don't know if you can get it anymore though. It is very, very old. But if I can find a copy, I'll put something in the description for those math nerds out there. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up.